Alright, look, let's just be honest here. You probably saw the thumbnail and the title, and now you're getting ready to call me a Sony fanboy in the comments and click the dislike button. But before you do anything like that, just humor me for one moment. The year is 2006. We are but 1 month away from the North American release of the Nintendo Wii. The world is raving about Nintendo's Dalmatian Edition, and I am probably beating New Super Mario Bros. On the DS for the 10th time. The timeline of Thanos doing the orange justice after insta-killing me with a pump shotgun has not yet come to fruition. Life is good. Nintendo was on the verge of releasing a console that would surpass the sales of the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3 combined. For all intents and purposes, the Wii is Nintendo at their peak, and the console perfectly outlines a common factor that all of Nintendo's highest selling consoles have in common. The Nintendo DS, the Game Boy Color, and the Wii are currently the highest selling consoles in Nintendo's history, and in my opinion it's all for one reason: innovation. The Game Boy Color introduced the potential of what handheld gaming had to offer and showed everyone how profitable the handheld gaming market could be. The Nintendo DS was an expansion of the ideas that were introduced by the Game Boy Color. It had a plethora of features that the Game Boy Color didn't: a touchscreen, a microphone, the ability to fold, and plenty of other features that would go on to inspire the 3DS and, of course, the Nintendo Switch. There's probably a solid chance that if you went to any average middle or elementary school during the lifespan of the DS and go into the cafeteria during lunchtime, it would probably be insanely difficult to not find at least multiple groups of kids playing either Pokemon or Mario Kart DS with each other. Everybody knows that the DS was selling like hotcakes and would also go on to inspire PlayStation also shooting their shot in the handheld gaming market with the PSP and the PlayStation Vita. Unfortunately, Nintendo completely wiped the floor with them due to the horrible launch of the PS Vita and the Nintendo systems just having better libraries and just not being mobile emulators of their home console counterparts. Not to mention, both consoles had killer libraries and popularized the now behemoth cash cow of franchise for Nintendo, Pokemon. Look, back in the day, a Pokemon game is essentially what made a Nintendo handheld viable, and people were just buying these things left and right just to play a Pokemon game. So what did the Wii do to end up number 3 on Nintendo's highest selling console list? They made this piece of shit. Naturally, as you expect, Nintendo did the Nintendo thing to do, which basically means the opposite of what any normal company would do. This white hunk of junk opened up a lot of gaming possibilities while also introducing the general public to a new exciting technology at the time: the ability to play games while using motion controls. The success of Wii Sports almost single-handedly comes from the fact that it used motion controls in the least non-intrusive way it possibly could have, and they showed a mass audience a fun new way to play sports games that anybody could understand. It's really simple. You hold B, you swing the remote, and boom, you're bowling with your cousin Nico. It's a good time. Just look at the Xbox controller. It has all these different buttons and 2 sticks and buttons on the back even. And to someone who doesn't play video games, the shit's probably confusing to them. You see, but with the Wiimote, you pick it up and you swing it and boom, you're playing video games. It's easy. So congratulations, you've changed the gaming landscape forever and now have one of the hottest gaming consoles on the market. So how do you follow it up? Yeah, we don't talk about this one. I think everybody agrees that the Wii U is just that one weird kid in the family whose parents had every intention of raising him properly but got dropped really hard somewhere along the way. If you look at Nintendo's history, you can clearly see a pattern begin to form. For every leap they take forward, they find some miraculous way to just take a few steps backwards. The Nintendo Switch is everything the Wii U possibly could have been and more. In my eyes, the Switch is this beautiful amalgamation of all of Nintendo's best ideas and them actually learning from their mistakes and make this beautiful piece of machinery we all have in front of us today. But the Switch definitely has its flaws and is nowhere near perfect, and I think even the most hardcore of Nintendo fans can agree with me on this. The online subscription service is a lot worse than it should be for a modern gaming console. It's honestly so shocking to me that a company with as much money as Nintendo still can't find some way to have good online service for their games. Like, come on Nintendo, I'm trying to play a video game here, not watch a PowerPoint presentation. And I know they tried supplementing it by only making it $20 a year, which is honestly about as much money I'm willing to give Nintendo for what they offer in their online subscription service. But they took out the virtual console from the Wii U eShop so they can use those games as a way to convince people to buy their online service. except that the virtual console games that are available are significantly more expensive than they were on the Wii U eShop. Nintendo has a serious problem when it comes to gauging their prices. The company is notorious for never putting their big exclusives on sale, even when they're years old, not to mention all of the Switch ports of older games that still remain full price, that a majority of the time almost have no extra content or any incentive at all to purchase the game for full price, especially if you played the game previously on the Wii U. Perfect example of this is the recent announcement of the 3D Mario All-Stars collection, and while there's nothing wrong with having a collection like this, the issue lies in the fact that the game is full price despite that the games are almost exactly the same except for the resolution being bumped up to the standard HD resolution. Nintendo, are you fucking serious with this? Well, don't get me wrong, I'm still going to get this because damn if I don't love those games. But you cannot release a collection in this fashion and not even attempt to reach the bare minimum in remastering them like your competitors have. I also don't quite understand why Nintendo would have a big game like this, a collection like this, and have them only available for a limited amount of time. Why would you not want all Switch owners the potential to have this game even past that original date that you placed? But look, despite my criticism of the company seemingly sounding harsh, it's only because their games are an unforgettable part of my childhood, and I want nothing more than to see them taking the right steps and succeeding. I remember so many kids in my school would just sit and talk about Call of Duty all the time, and I was just sitting there, one of the only kids who just wanted to talk about how amazing I thought Mario Galaxy 2 was. I was accused in my previous video of being a Sony fanboy by Xbox fanboys, but if I'm being honest, that's not it at all. At my core, I am a Nintendo fanboy and a damn proud one too. I'm going to continue to support the company as long as they continue to push creativity and innovation in the games they make. Because we all know when Nintendo hits it out of the park, they fucking hit it out of the park, and the entire industry takes notice, and it's honestly a beautiful thing for me to see. I love Nintendo, but at the end of the day, they're an amazing game developer, just not a very good company.